What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. And guys, we're going all the way back to the year 2000 when this awesome timeless collection set came out. Perilous Rescue. One of the coolest G.I. Joes, going all the way back to the 60s, the mid-60s, was the G.I. Joe Frogman. The suit was awesome. You couldn't beat it. It was made out of some type of real rubber material, and every kid growing up in the mid to late 60s and early 70s wanted their own G.I. Joe scuba diver. The scuba suit was just phenomenal. And naturally, the playability factor was off the charts. I love the scuba frogman G.I. Joe was because the way we couldn't afford this particular type of G.I. Joe when I was growing up. And B, you always want what the next person have. So the kid next door had this guy. And it wasn't fair. Just a cool scuba suit, the gear. Let's get in there. Got his oxygen tanks. The old goggles. The old one-piece goggle. You know we went way back on you on this. And Timeless Collection and Hasbro simply did a beautiful, beautiful job on this guy. Let's get in close. The suit's got a little dust on it in there. Even when they're in the box, they'll still get dust on them. And as you can see, the suit is perfect. The zipper, the seams where it's brought together, everything. His dog tags, even a headpiece. Beautifully done. There's his other equipment. Life ring over there. Other equipment. There's the buoy. Got his flashlight. If we go down a little bit, let's see if we can find it. Yes. He's got his life raft. A real, there's where you inflate it at. There's a real working life raft. This set was not cheap in 2000. There, flare gun, his knife, first aid kit, sheath for the knife. This set was not cheap at all. This set, I believe, this set cost me about, I want to say $40. Yeah, somewhere around the $40 range back then in 2000. He's going to cost you a little bit more now. Once again, this is a C10 perfect example. This is a museum piece. Now he's for museum purposes. Our Perilous Rescue Frogman, G.I. Joe. Let's turn the box around. Timeless Collection. Well, first, let's go up top. There's his equipment list there. There's the old Hasbro logo. Let's turn him around. Just great pictures and formats here, telling you everything about this is how the actual box was set up in the 1960s. They got it set up exactly the same way. They give you a lot of bits and pieces of historical photos from that box art. Beautifully done. Look at this. New, now available. G.I. Joe's official Jeep. And here's the back. Once again, beautifully done. And they did a some type of a cool layout where they give you a faded out viewpoint of the old box art. Let me back you out a little bit. That's how beautifully they did that. And I was just in love with these G.I. Joes. The Navy G.I. Joes, the sailors, they were all beautifully done. The craftsmanship was just phenomenal. And here's the Perilous Rescue, figures and accessories reminiscent of the golden age of G.I. Joe from 1964 to 1978. And just to show you how far G.I. Joe has really come. But these vintage figures on the vintage bodies are just beautifully done. And that's why they cost so much. That's why they're so expensive. And this is the backstory on the Navy rescue divers. Let's go down here. Hey, buddy, join the G.I. Joe Club. I was a part of the G.I. Joe Club. And I would highly recommend anybody that's collecting G.I. Joes or interested in collecting G.I. Joes to join the G.I. Joe Club. They have a wealth of knowledge, a lot of fun material, giveaways for figures and stuff, and the G.I. Joe convention is always awesome. And I found a lot of cool figures from the G.I. Joe conventions. We'll be covering some more G.I. Joe conventions. Here's a 2000. The box is beautiful. I bought this set from Target back in 2000. I believe it was Target. There's the side. This is the manual. I don't believe ours come with the manual, but this is how the manual looks inside. This is what you get. It takes you back in time to a cooler time, a simpler time, where the only thing, being a kid, the only thing you had to worry about was getting up, having fun, playing with the G.I. Joes. Not a care in the world. And guys, at M.I.B. Master Museum, we want you to escape. If not just for 10 to 15 minutes, we want you to escape into our channel and have that fun. So this is what we are all about here at M.I.B. Master Museum. About having fun, about enjoying yourself. And guys, we want to touch a little bit more on the suit. This suit is 17, 18 years old, something like that. It is in pristine condition. No wear or anything, no deterioration or anything. Well, the older G.I. Joes, Frogman suits, were, I said, used of real material, rubber material, some form of real rubbery material that would deteriorate over time. I don't care if your Frogman G.I. Joe, Navy Frogman G.I. Joe was in C10 condition, museum quality like this one. It didn't matter. It simply didn't matter. It would deteriorate over time. And we have a comparison for you we wanted to do and just kind of give you a good understanding what we're talking about. Now we have a G.I. Joe from the 1993-94 G.I. Joe convention. We have a Navy G.I. Joe Frogman from that convention, from the 1993-94 convention. And we want to just kind of do a comparisons here. I'm gonna see if I can keep them. Guys, I gotta get a cameraman. And we're gonna bring him in a little bit. We just wanna, just enough. You see, let's do the comparison here. This figure, my action sailor, Navy Frogman, from 1993, has never been out of his box. He's on the Hall of Fame figure, as you can see. C10, perfect, from 2000. This is 7 years earlier, from 1993. And as you can see, my Navy Frogman, look at the deterioration of the suit. And this is over a course of years. It just didn't start immediately. But this G.I. Joe Navy Frogman has been kept in optimum conditions at our museum. Perfect conditions. Perfect temperature, no light, no moisture, no nothing. And just to give you a good indication of what we're talking about. And we wanted to do this comparison for you because even keeping a figure mint in box, it just goes to show you it doesn't matter how perfect the conditions are. If the materials that were used were cheap or were simply not meant to be kept in a museum, it simply won't make a difference. This Navy Frogman G.I. Joe simply was not meant to be kept like this. Now, you can go and buy other suits for him and do things like that, but because we use this as an example piece, and he's in C10 condition, the box, everything, he's, like I said, this is what happens over a period of time. And we've noticed that with some of our figures here at the museum. Just get in there just to give you an indication of the. This is a very old figure. You do the math. He's from 1993, and we're in 2017, and this is what he's come to. And then you would pan out. So what Hasbro did, they realized their folly, or their error, I should say, in the design and the material used, and they went to a synthetic form of rubber material, rubber-like material, that in appearance seems to be rubber, but it's not. It's a different type of material, and I read up on it a while back, years ago. I'd say about 16, 17 years ago, because I wanted to know why that in 17, 18 years, this figure is still beautiful. His suit is still so beautiful. Well, I read up and found out why. This is not real rubber. This is a synthetic form of rubber that I wish that Hasbro will continue to use if they ever bring out more G.I. Joes with scuba suits on, frogman suits. But just a beautiful example of how deterioration can really play a factor. And yes, before anybody asks me a question, this has been driving me crazy. It pains me to even look at this figure. I really love my Navy Frogman action sailor. And I don't want to see him in this type of condition. But if we can educate people on action figures and the if you're thinking about keeping figures for long periods of time, and even under certain conditions, the way you're supposed to take care of your action figures, all that plays a part. But this right here is just a perfect example of not being completely powerless to do anything. This is a manufacturing issue. more than it was a environmental issue. Like I said, this action sailor has been kept in optimum. When I say optimum, I'm extremely shrewd when it comes to protecting my action figures. It's a fun hobby, but at the end of the day, they are an investment. As collectors, we understand that these guys are investments. I mean, you don't put this type of money and time and effort into figures just to allow them to go to waste. For what? You know? So once again, this is more of an educational piece now. You can just see how it has practically phased to his legs. The breakdown process has just gone beyond that point now. He's almost wearing shorts at this point. And it's starting to work its way up. The top part of his suit is holding up pretty good, though. There are some things I read that you can do if he was loose, that you could do baby powder. You could put inside of the suit. It acts as a repellent of some sort to stop the reaction, the deterioration reaction to the rubber. But that's very little you could do. I mean, it's like I said, we didn't want to take him out and go through that whole process. So, and you'll find most of the figures, action sailors from this time period, with this particular suit on, you'll be hard pressed to find a perfect one. A C10 example. You won't. If you can, please leave it in the comment section right underneath this video. I would love to hear about it. But we just want to kind of show you guys that. And just kind of just share that with you. Guys, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. We greatly appreciate it. All of our new subscribers, our old subscribers. Guys, thank you for the love and support that you've been giving us. This is truly a blessing to be able to just sit here and share these wonderful treasures that we have in our hobby with each other, you know, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's so much fun. And you know, definitely to all our subscribers, we love you guys. We appreciate the viewers. Keep coming back. Like I said, we have some more fun things lined up for you down the road. Stay tuned. Grab your favorite beverage, jump on the couch, kick back, and relax and enjoy the M.I.B. Master Museum channel. With that being said, you know the drill, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.